The film begins with a young girl named Noah. She begins looking for a boy on a dating website in order to marry. She meets a boy after talking to him. Later, they meet in a hotel and talk over dinner to get to know each other. Because that boy was odd, Noah disliked him and his behavior. Noah notices that the boy lacks manners and eats poorly. After eating, she tells him, "I don't like you because you're not like me and I can't marry you." The boy feels bad after hearing this and he leaves while saying ill to Noah. Noah meets her friend and tells that boy was strange and I don't like him. Noah was working in her home, but she was still attentive toward the site where she can find a boy to marry. She goes to a store to do some grocery. During this, she meets a boy named Steve. She likes that boy and his nature, so she talks to him and become friends. They also exchange their numbers. Noah again meets her friend and tells her about Steve. She claims that she will no longer look for a boy on that website, but will look for a man here. Noah was returning home and receives Steve's message, who calls her to meet in the evening. As the evening appears, Noah moves to meet him in a bar, and the bar owner was also Noah's friend. Steve tells her that he has none in this world like her. He tells, "I am a famous doctor, even there are my details on Google as well." Later, they finish many wine glasses one by one. They like each other's nature, so they move to Steve's house to spend time. The next morning, Noah wakes and takes Steve's picture as she likes him. Then she calls her friend while taking shower. She tells her while sending Steve's picture that she likes him. Hearing this, Noah's friend says, "Okay, if you like him, so send me his social media account like Facebook, so I'll find out what kind of person he is." But Noah says Steve isn't active on any social media and don't have any site. Well, now they were spending more time and Steve says, "I have planned a trip for you. Will you go with me?" Noah agrees to go on trip with him and also tells her friend about this trip. They move in their car for trip, and Noah's mobile lost its network as they were moving out of city, and she couldn't tell her friend where she is. The night appears while traveling, and they reach a house that belongs to Steve. They start drinking, but suddenly, Noah gets faint and falls down. Here, the real face of Steve revealed. Noah awakes, but she couldn't understand why she got faint and what's going on here because Steve has chained her. Noah becomes frightened and says to Steve, while weeping, "What do you want? Why you tied me?" She feels that Steve will do bad with her, but he doesn't do anything with her, but he brought her here for something else. Later, he tells her why he has brought her here. He says, "I will sell your body parts while separating them and will keep you here until I sell your all body parts." There are still insane people in this world who likes to eat girls' flesh, and Steve performs this job to convey flesh to them. Noah didn't message her friend, so her friend cares for her, and she texts no, but Steve was replying as no. He sends her a picture from net while telling her about wrong place that we have come here. No starts shouting loudly. She discovers a girl in the room nearby her room, and Steve brought her here like her to sell her flesh. Steve also eats the flesh of the girls. Noah's friend becomes concerned about her as she feels there is something wrong, and she Google about Steve. There was no Dr. Sergen named Steve on Google, and her friend suspects that someone else is talking on Noah's phone. She finds that picture on internet and discovers this is a picture of a place taken from net, so she becomes more concerned. She understands that Noah is stuck in a trouble. Steve was locking the girls' body parts while separating them. Later, the boxes were conveyed to everyone. Noah says to Steve she has to take shower, so he takes her upstairs. Noah was finding the way to escape, and even she tries to escape while getting a chance, but Steve captures her. He hits her on the ground due to it. She gets faint. Noah wakes and feels like something is taken out from her body. He separates her lower part as a punishment because she tried to escape. Noah's friend moves to the bar where Noah met Steve and takes the details of Steve's card from the bar owner, so she will discover Steve's real name that was something else. She does not find Steve on social media, but she does learn about his wife and his home address. Noah was in pain because of surgery. Meanwhile, Steve arrives and picks up a girl for cutting her flesh. Noah starts reading a magazine placed there on which it was written, "If you are reading this magazine means Steve likes you, and you can escape from here while getting a chance from it." It was written by a girl who was imprisoned here before Noah. Noah's friend also reaches the house where Steve's wife lives. Noah's friend tells the bar owner that where is she at this time, so come to this address to find me if I will not return. Noah's friend asks about Steve from his wife and tells her that her husband has taken her friend and they are missing. His wife says, "My husband can't do this kind of act. You are misunderstood." Noah asks Steve how human flesh tastes and how it feels after eating it. Steve finds it strange that she is questioning him, but he claims that the taste of human flesh is as delicious as nothing else. Noah's friend was talking to Steve's wife. Meanwhile, Steve arrives and pretends in front of her friend like he don't know her. Her friend secretly dials her number, and when the phone rings and Steve answers, it means Steve has been apprehended. Meanwhile, his wife makes Noah's friend faint while attacking her from behind. Steve comes to Noah and asks why she asked about the taste of human flesh. "I just wanted to know if it's that tasty that people want to eat it," she says. Steve ignores her and leaves while placing her clothes. Now we discover Steve's wife is also physically disabled and Steve brought her from somewhere and then married her. Steve again places a girl's meat in the fridge, and there was the meat of many other girls. Even he eats that meat. He was cutting a girl with an axe in the yard of the house. Steve was eating with Noah at night. She inquires, since when is he doing all of this, eating girls' flesh on it? He says, "I tasted a girl's meat when I was 19 for the first time and I enjoyed it." Steve makes Noah eat a dish made with human flesh and she somehow eats it. She says it has the same taste as you told me. Amazing. She was saying this to gain Steve's trust. With it, Steve drops Noah in the room and takes her friend to cut her meat, and Noah wasn't aware of this. Noah starts vomiting while coming to the room, and she was feeling strange because she has eaten girl's meat. Steve does a surgery of Noah's friend and separates her meat. Then he again brings clothes for Noah and says, "We will have dinner together tonight." Noah also wants this because she was doing this to escape. She dresses up and walks over to Steve with a fake smile, and today Steve forces her to eat the meat of the insane girl who used to sing all the time. Then he shows her a wooden wall, and there were the things of the dead girls in its boxes. As clients request those items in addition to the meat, they can get a sense of the person whose meat they are eating. Noah asks, "Where are my things?" He says, "I haven't placed your things because I didn't think of ending you yet." Noah sees the phone of her friend, and she understands that her friend is also imprisoned here. They dance after having food, and during this, Noah cuts Steve's leg badly. Steve was feeling pain because she has separated a piece of his meat and there was blood on his face. Then she gets the keys, getting a chance, and releases her friend and the other girl. The girl has one foot, so they were sending her upstairs through lift, but there was Steve who stops her to go upstairs. Steve awakes and beats Noah, but the girl saves her. After it, the bar owner has also arrived outside while finding Noah's friend. Now the girls were running while coming out of the house to escape, but Steve arrives with a gun. He was finding the girls, but until then the girls were hidden. Steve was finding Noah, but her friend attacks him from behind. The girls again attack Steve and beats him. In the end, Noah ends his game while shooting him with his own gun, and now they were saved. Steve's wife sees his dead body and asks her worker to keep him in the fridge. And she starts ending Noah while pressing her neck because she wants to take her husband's revenge. However, her friend honors her friendship by saving her while attacking Steve's wife. She beats Steve's wife that she ends her. After it, Noah's mobile is shown, and there was a boy's text to meet. And here the movie ends. Thanks for watching the video. Please hit the subscribe button for more interesting updates from us.